Morning guys, for those who don't know me, my name's Stephen Green. I'm shooting this video this morning. It's 5 o'clock, I'm sat in my conservatory where I come and train on the morning. It's Saturday morning, so I'm not training today, or I might be training later on today if my personal trainer says we are. But I'm shooting this video from my conservatory this morning. It's quite an emotional video. It's a subject that is very close to my heart, something that I'm very, very passionate about making a difference in the world to people, because it's a little bit like if you were to know something, let's say for example you've experienced something and you want to tell other people about it. So maybe it was the first time that you had a drink of alcohol and you had lots of fun with people and that had an impact on you, like a different type of feeling that you've never felt before, and you go tell other friends and say, you want to have a drink of alcohol, I've done this, and it's fun. Or it could be an event you've tried, it might be a hobby you tried for the first time, whatever that is. Could be having a child. So that's quite a biggie. People have a child and they say it completely changed their lives, that you don't understand it until you've experienced it. Now I just want you to hold on to that, whatever that is that you've experienced, that's had an impact on your life, and why you wanted to tell other people, and that understanding of how good that thing was and the impact it had on your life. Well, that's exactly what I do now. My passion is to tell people what I know about, and what I know about is how we can have anything from life that we want, and I mean anything at all. People think that life is done to us, and it's not. It's done through you. It's created by you. It's created by the things that you focus on. So the reason why I'm wanting to shoot this video today is my daughter's attempted to take her life again this week. So she's taken an overdose, and she's done other things. We're not going to go too much into detail, but she's attempted to take her life again this week. And as much as the skill set that I've got, I can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped. There's two things that have to be present for change to happen. One, you have to be looking for it, and two, you have to be willing to accept it. And if either of those two things aren't there, then change isn't going to happen. Now, I do believe that some point down the line, when she's experienced enough pain, when we're no longer willing to tolerate something, that's usually when change will happen. When you're no longer willing to tolerate something. And for some people, unfortunately, they have to nearly die before they live. And it doesn't need to be the case. You can get to live today. You can make that decision right now that you get to live today. I also yesterday experienced something else. I don't often drink these days, and we had a staff member leaving. So I went out and after work, and we just had a couple of drinks straight after work to say goodbye and wish this person good luck on their journey. And while I was sat there, somebody came over to me, shouted at me. It was in the back of a beer garden. This is only sort of 5 o'clock through the day, and somebody shouted at me, and I hadn't seen this person for a long time. I've known the person for a lot of years. And this person asked me if I had any money to, so they could get home, so they could get the bus home. Clearly didn't look very well. And this particular person was somebody who I knocked about with as a child, somebody who I grew up with, who got into a relationship, probably not the greatest for her, and led her down a certain path of drugs and things like that. And it's just crazy to see somebody who had so much to give, so much to offer, be in that situation. And I give that person some money to get home. Seen that person a few hours later. clearly hadn't used the money for that, and to be honest, I didn't really think that they would when I give them the money. But at least I'd done my bit, and it was just a bit sad to see somebody with all that potential, such a lovely, caring, genuine person to the core, behave that way and go off down that path. And again, I believe that person can turn things round and could go back to being that person that she was. So my message today is around you and your life, and an understanding that you control it, that there's certain things in life that if you take certain type of actions and do certain type of things, it creates a certain type of result. And this is the thing that I'm talking about wanting to share with you. So when I'm saying that this trigger might be somebody who's experienced drink for the first time, it might be somebody who's had a child and they're saying how amazing it is and how this child has changed their life, it might be a particular hobby, whatever. I found something in life and I want to share that with people. I want them to understand and I want them to feel the feelings that I have every day of no pressure, no stress, just a complete state of gratitude and happiness. Because if you want to feel happiness, then find gratitude. If you can find gratitude, you'll find happiness, because happiness will come off the back of that. And how do we find gratitude? You find gratitude by being present in the moment. So you find gratitude by not projecting in the future and not looking in the past. It's about being here right now. What do you have in your life? What are you experiencing? Because every one of us has something to be grateful for. Just for the fact that you're alive, for starters, is enough to be grateful for every single day. But when we have things like anxiety and stress, it's because we're living in the future. We're creating something called an anxiety gap. So we're projecting, we're looking in the future, we're visualizing, but in a negative way. We all use visualization, whether you're using that in a positive way or a negative way. If you are visualizing in a negative way, that is fear. So you are looking at the future and you think what is going to happen in the future is worse than what is the current situation right now. Now, if you do that, you create something called an anxiety gap, and that's where anxiety comes from, because it's that tightness of your chest, the breathing, and that feeling of pressure and not feeling good because you know something's about to come. And here's the thing. Your subconscious mind doesn't know any difference about what you experience and what you visualize. It doesn't know any difference at all. It's the reason why we can have a dream and we wake up scared. We can wake up panicking if it's a nightmare, for example, or you can have a really good dream that all these great things have happened to you and you feel really good feelings from it. Our subconscious mind doesn't know no different. So whatever you feed it on, that's what's going to repeat. And this is why it's so important that certain things are done in life. And things like following the masses of watching programs like Coronation Street, EastEnders, watching the news, reading negative newspapers, that is all negative material that you are putting inside your mind, and it can only do one thing. What you put in has to come out. Think about it of what you put in your body or what you put in your car. If you went and poured oil in your car, or you went and poured poison or something like that, the car's not going to run, it's not going to work efficiently. And it's exactly the same as our body and mind. We understand that with the food we eat. We go and eat loads of pizzas and we eat loads of crap food. We understand the negative impact that that's going to have on our body. But we never ever look at that. People don't look at it with a mind. It's exactly the same. What you put in has to come out. So if you're going to put all of these negative things in, and you're going to put yourself around negative people, and you're going to put yourself in negative situations, then it's going to change your life, and it's going to change it in a negative. It's going to have a negative impact on your life. So you need to look at that. This person yesterday, that person who was a friend, somebody that I used to knock about with, the only thing that changed in her life, the one thing that changed in her life that sent her off down this path of not interacting with her child anymore and just completely went on this self-destruction, was she got with a partner, and that partner was addicted to a certain drug, and she went on that drug and it completely changed her life. Now, if that is not a signal to say that the people we are surrounding ourselves with, it's absolutely crucial. The people you put yourselves around with, you will become an average of them people. So if you've got people around you that aren't supporting you, who aren't wanting you to be better, who aren't encouraging you to achieve goals and move forward, then fucking get rid of them. Get them fucking gone from your life, because I'll tell you now that you will always, they will cap it at that. If they're at that level, you will always get her there and you'll be brought back down. You'll do this constantly. You need people up there to drag you up to that level. So look at the people you put yourself around. Look at the environment. Look at the material you're putting inside your head. Are you reading things about murders and muggings and negative crap in the paper? I don't ever read the paper. I don't ever watch the news. It doesn't have any impact on my life. I don't give a shit about Brexit. I don't give a shit about any of these things what people talk about that apparently affect our lives. They don't. You affect your life by the decisions that you make, by exactly what you do, where your focus is, and the actions that you take are going to determine a certain type of result. That is it, end of. There is nothing else to it. There's no rolling the dice. It's not about how lucky you are. It's all fucking bullshit. Everything is cause and effect principle. So what you put in, what you focus on is what you are going to get out. It's as simple as that. So if you're not happy with a certain part of your life or where you are in life right now, then look at the actions that you've took to get you there. Look at where your focus has been and look at what you're doing. So one great thing about being a human, what I said to my daughter this morning in a message was, we aren't stuck like a tree. So being a human, you can change your direction instantly. You can't change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. And your past results do not equal your future. Your past results do not equal your future. Remember that. It doesn't fucking matter how many mistakes you've made, what happened in the past. And I explained this to my daughter, that my life was no different to hers. I was brought up in a council house. I was brought up from a split relationship. I was brought up by my grandparents. I got no education at school. I didn't do well at school. My best grade at school was 1D. I didn't care at school. I wasn't interested in it. I was always poorly as a child. Anyone who knows me who's watching this video will know that I was the smallest lad in my whole year. The smallest lad. There was only one girl smaller than me in my whole year. 5'3" when I left school. So don't talk to me about fucking disadvantages and bollocks like that, because I fucking faced all that, and none of that matters. Nothing at all about your past matters. What matters is where you've got your fucking focus now, and what are you doing about moving forward? What action are you taking, and what responsibility for your life? Because I see shit about Brexit, the government, he isn't helping us, she isn't helping us, my parents, the school I went to, the area that I'm brought up in has got the highest suicide rate. It doesn't fucking matter, it's all bullshit. And why you give the ownership to all that crap, you can't move forward. All of that baggage and all of that external shit that you put out there onto yourself because of the government, because of Brexit, because of the steelworks closing, all of that crap, it's external. And why it's external to you, you can't change it. That's what you're saying. Until you take 100% responsibility for your life, you can't change anything. You need to get that ownership back. You need to take responsibility for all the results. Anything you're experiencing right now is down to you, no one else. Not your mum, not your dad, not Brexit. It's fucking you. And this is exactly the point that I want to make, because my daughter's in a situation where she's tried to take her life again this week, and that's multiple times she's tried this year. And that's because of the people she's putting herself around. She is repeating the same behaviours over and over again. And Albert Einstein said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And that's exactly what she's doing. She's just going round and round and round in this cycle. She'll pick up for a bit and she feels good. And she tells me at the time, she'll say, I feel really good. I feel like I'm improving. It feels like things are working out. None of that is to do with chemical imbalance. It's absolutely fucking bullshit. It's a limiting belief that's been put on people by doctors that this chemical imbalance thing is controlling you. It's not fucking controlling you. Your results and what you do with your life is controlling you and how you feel. Your thoughts control your emotions, nothing else. Your thoughts. And the thoughts that you have are determined by where your focus is. So what you focus on is going to feed the type of thoughts that you have. And the thoughts that you have are directly impacting the emotions that you feel at all time. So if you don't feel good, that's a fucking signal to you of where your thoughts are. What are you focusing on to create that type of emotion? So if you don't feel good, you've got some sort of negative thought, ask yourself, if you're not feeling good, ask yourself, what is the thought that's creating this emotion? What is the thought that's creating this emotion? Because there has to be something, there has to be a thought that's creating that type of emotion, because that's how we're wired up. The thought and the emotion are always directly linked. The mind and body. So what you feel in the body, the emotion, is a direct link to the mind. It's the thought that has to create that first. So the thing what I want you to think into is you aren't a fucking tree. You aren't a tree and you get to determine your life. Think about some of these key things. Knowing what you want from life is the first and foremost of any success. Desire is the starting point of all achievement. Nothing has happened or ever will happen without desire. Desire is the starting point of all achievement. Know what you want from life. Bring it to life by visualizing it. Stop visualizing negative shit of what might go wrong in life and start seeing life how you'd like it to turn out. So have a clear picture on it. Get some fucking focus. That focus that I was talking about that controls your thought. It's about setting goals, having targets. What do you want from life? Because here's the thing, and this is what I just don't get in my head is, they say the universe has been around for 13 billion years. So you've waited for 13 billion years. I just want you to put that in perspective. 13 billion years for you to watch this video. And after them roughly 70 years that you've got, then that's it. Your goal has fucking gone. You haven't got time for fucking being scared about, should I do this deal? Should I fucking ask that bird out? Should I ask for a pay rise? Should I try and take a gamble and start up this business? Should I, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You haven't got time to fucking not do it. You haven't got time to be fucking scared of shit like that. You've got this tiny, tiny little window. 13 billion years, and in this tiny, tiny little thing in the middle is your 70-year life. And people get stressed about shitty things of, oh, I'm late for work, or I'm this, or my hair isn't right, or he said this about me, she said that about me. What the fuck are you doing wasting your life over some of the most trivial fucking things in the world? You haven't got time for that shit. Because here's the thing, there's one or two things. You either believe in reincarnation or you don't. And if you believe in reincarnation and you get to come back and you get to have another go, then why are you fucking scared about giving something a try? Why are you scared about going out there and making something of your life? Why are you scared and so hung up about what people say about you? About he might fail or this might have happened? Because you get to go fucking again if you believe in reincarnation. And if you don't believe in reincarnation and you've waited 13 billion fucking years for this go, and you aren't going to at least fucking go out there and try things and make something of your life, because after those little 70 years, you're going to wait, there's another 13 billion years, there's eternity, and you aren't getting another go. If you don't believe in reincarnation, you've waited 13 fucking billion years, and you've got this tiny window, and you are never getting a go again, and that is it, it's over. And people are fucking stressing out over trivial fucking things, or even worse, which saddens me, is people trying to take the life. You weren't born for 13 billion years. You've got this tiny, tiny fucking window of 70 years, and then you're going to be dead forever. If you don't believe in reincarnation, that's it. You are gone for fucking ever. So you are going to be dead. That's coming to you anyway. You aren't fucking escaping that. So at least fucking do something with that one little blip that you've got in the fucking middle. Do something, make something of it, put yourself around the right people, get focused, set goals, and stop fucking caring what people say, because this is the biggest issue with my daughter, is she's just so completely hung up about what does he think, what does she think, what do you think about me? What someone thinks about you is none of your fucking business. What someone thinks about you is none of your fucking business, because are they still going to think it anyway? Yes, they are, so it doesn't matter. You only need to think about you. You're only in competition with yourself. So, quite an emotional video today. You can see that fucking passion inside of me to want to change people, to want you to have a better life, because you deserve that. You've got this fucking tiny window to do something about it. So go out there, make the decision today. You aren't the tree. You can change direction. Right now, you can fucking change direction. Don't tolerate no more shit. Don't tolerate an average life. Go out there and be fucking awesome, because you truly deserve it. That's my emotional video today. Thank you for that. Thank you for listening, Stephen.